And we're live. How's everybody doing today on this lovely August the 18th, Sunday afternoon? I hope you're all doing good. So my plan for this stream, I kind of just want to finish the game, but I don't even think I'm going to finish the main quest line. I think we're just going to do Lonesome Road, and then I'm probably going to call an end to the series, because I feel like my obligation to play New Vegas has really stunted my ability to stream games that I would rather stream. For an example, I really wanted to stream Dead Rising when the Dead Rising drama was kicking off, but I felt like I'd be cheating out on my Fallout New Vegas stream, so I didn't. So I kind of just want to get this dead and buried so that I can move on to other things. I tried releasing a commentary video on the whole Dead Rising drama, but that only got like 30 views, which is really depressing. But I won't harp on about the drama in the Dead Rising remake. Suffice it to say, I think the people in charge of the remake are making a series of really critical mistakes, and frankly shouldn't be allowed to remake the game.
Was that all?
But you'll never hear anyone talk about the artistic merits of Dead Rising. All you'll hear is people screaming, "Oh, they're woke now," which is not at all what I believe. I believe that the game has some very poignant artistic points, and nobody will ever talk about them because Dead Rising is not really an artistic game, for want of a better term. I'm lost. I'm actually going in the wrong direction, I think. Yeah, I am. I'm stupid. The thing I really wanted to talk about was Valve's new hit video game, Deadlock. But I'm technically not allowed to stream the game or post screenshots of it, which I think is really unfortunate, because I think Valve has basically, like, they're shooting yourself in the foot, and then there's what Valve is doing with Deadlock, where it's like jumping into a bear trap and then like shooting yourself in the foot to get the bear trap off. So for those who don't know, Deadlock was leaked to the public illegally with a security breach at Valve, and everyone was very disappointed. Everyone thought it was a very generic-looking hero shooter. And now Valve has actually put the game into alpha, and it's like a semi-public alpha. You need to be invited by somebody else who is in the alpha, which is how I got in. But there is no limit to how many other users you can invite. So clearly Valve does not want this kept secret. Otherwise, there would be a limit, or only certain users would be approved to invite people. There's also no NDA. The game starts with a polite request that you don't talk about the game, but who respects that? Like, let's be honest, who's gonna buy into that? There's been a lot of drama between Valve and The Verge, because some staffer at The Verge used the whole game. And people are thinking that, oh, all the Verge staffers should be permanently. Do I have followers somewhere? Where? Not with me. People are thinking that all of the staffers at the Verge should be banned. I don't know where my followers are. They're not anywhere near me, and they're not showing up on my map. But let's be realistic. Let's be honest for a second here. Don't know where the hell I left Lily at. Do I have a save that's earlier? Let's be honest here. If these same leaks were happening with Rockstar Games with GTA 6, everyone would be on the side of the leakers. No one would care. The only reason people are mad about this is because it's Valve, and Valve is a company that we are supposed to care about. Advance to dismiss companions. Open console. Clicker. Yeah, I don't know where my companion is. This does not help. Oh, I can't copy.
Are we being watched?
Well, we can do this though. This is a new feature that I learned that this game has. Well, that doesn't work because that's an unknown variable, so that console command is worthless. Can I literally not complete the DLC that I want to complete because I don't know where the fuck Lily is? Like, she's on my local map, but she's way away from me somewhere. And I don't know where. Oh, there she is. As I was saying, the deadlock thing. People are only mad about these leaks because it's Valve. They wouldn't... If this was any other game company, people would not care. As someone who has played Deadlock, I'm not a fan of MOBAs, but Deadlock sucks. Even my friends who do enjoy MOBAs have agreed with me that it's not a very good MOBA. It's got a lot of just really baffling design decisions. I really want to stream the game and talk about it, but again, there's the threat of Valve copyright striking my video and copyright striking my channel if I do that, which pisses me off, because it's really hard to talk about it without being able to showcase footage from it. Which I think is why I said Valve has shot themselves in the foot. What level am I anyway? I'm sure I can pull it off, even at a lower level. I'm level 24, I'm close enough. So nobody can talk about this game, so it's not going to get any promotion. So if Valve was hoping for viral marketing, they've kind of failed. They really underestimated how rabid their fan base was to defend them, if that was their plan. And they really I think they really underestimated how many people would get into it. It has 20,000 concurrent players, I think, last time I checked. Which is a lot, but like, compared to, say, League or Dota's concurrent players, which have concurrent players in the hundreds of thousands, it's nothing. The other thing, I think, is that Deadlock doesn't offer anything new to the gaming space. It's a shooter, but not really. The shooting mechanics are atrocious, because it's not a shooter, it's a MOBA game. The MOBA mechanics are really poorly balanced, because it also kind of wants to be a shooter. So there's, like, headshots and dodge rolling, and things that just aren't normally in a MOBA, that just kind of detract from the overall MOBA experience. There are also multiple upgrades that just break the game. There is an active reload upgrade, so you can get like the Gears of War reload, where you push the reload button, and then you like wait a couple seconds, and then you press it again to get a fast reload. If your opponent has that and you don't, you just lose, because their DPS is massively higher than yours. It's an auto-win upgrade. It's a mandatory must-pick for all characters. That really needs to be changed. Some of the characters have, like, no gameplay identity, and even worse, no, like, character identity either. If you look up the heroes and look at what they look like, they all look so generic and lame. There's a blue guy who's just Hellboy, but instead of a giant demon arm, he has an evil book. There's Hanzo, there's Mei. Like, all the characters just feel like they're ripped straight from I might fuck around and do a stream of the game if it comes out.
Ralphie! Fly far, fly fast!
I might do a stream of the... I will probably stream Deadlock if it, like, actually comes out. My hope is that the game gets fridged, because it just offers nothing new to the gaming space, and I don't know what Valve was thinking. It really does not feel like a Valve game, and I know this game is going to hit the commentary community like crack, and it's going to spawn, like, a multiple-year cycle of, like, oh, Valve has fallen off, oh, Valve has lost the plot and can no longer make games type videos, which I don't think is really true. I do think Deadlock is a really genuinely bad game, and I think Valve should be ashamed, and I think they should just pull the plug on it before it gets any worse, but they clearly don't give a shit about CS2 or TF2 or Dota 2. They clearly don't give a shit about any of their games that are currently out, and who knows if they're going to give a shit about this one either.
Experiment log 369248/B. iBot Duraframe Universal Interface Override System. This is Dr. Whitley presiding. We've boosted signal gain and enlarged the overflow buffer system. That should ensure 100% connectivity and control. Eddie, whenever you're ready. Yes, success. Reporting full success on 369248/B. Eddie was able to interface with and override the test panel in under 3 seconds. Great job, team. Now let's start on the proposal for the full rollout.
I love the dialogue in this DLC. I like that they give more of a backstory to Eddie. And Eddie's just such a cool vibe. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I don't trust Valve with this one. I think it's gonna just not good. It doesn't do anything that, like, no other MOBA already does. Or any shooter doesn't already do. And the character designs, I really wish I could show footage from Deadlock. Because I really want to talk about how lame the characters are. They're so bad. You've got iconic characters like white-skinned Dudley from Streets. You've got Mei from Overwatch, but gender swapped with a red beard. You've got fucking Roadhog, but he's a literal pig this time. Like, the characters are so generic looking. And I can't look at them and see, like, a new character. I just look at them and see what blatantly inspired them already. And I just think, well, why would I play with these characters when I could play with pre-existing ones? The reveal of this nuke is just so... I still remember opening that silo for the first time and thinking, oh my god, there's a nuke here. Like, this whole sequence is so good. This whole DLC is so good. So every time we find one of these wrecked iBots, we get a circuit board that upgrades Eddie. It's one of the reasons why he's the best companion in the game, because you can get all these upgrades for him that let him, like, produce...
Nobody ever notices me, but they notice the Pip-Boy, right?
It's pretty great. How did you get in front of me?
Dr. Grant? What the hell do you think you're doing?
Whitley, there you are. Orders from Colonel Autumn. He feels the iBot Duraframe project isn't advancing quickly enough. I'm to...
You didn't even disengage his damage avoidance protocols. You're hurting him.
Don't be ridiculous. It's just a machine. See here. I've already increased the navigation system's efficiency by 65%.
Get the hell out of here!
Fine, Whitley. It's your lab. At least until I tell the Colonel about this.
I actually have a bigger problem with Eddie in this DLC than I do Ulysses. Because I feel that Eddie having these PTSD flashbacks to his origin story really detracts from the whole you're alone in the DLC vibe. I think a better thing would have been to have Ulysses just hack your Pip-Boy to talk to you, like Elijah does, and say that he learned how to do it in the Big Empty.
Speaking done. Fighting now.
You say that he looked at the, like, the smashed up Robco products in the Big Empty and learned how to hack Pip-Boy. Well, that was a mistake. Oh, god damn it. We're all the way back at the start of the DLC, really? I didn't quick save. Fuck. Ugh. It's just annoying. I feel like having Eddie around really detracts from the lonely isolation feeling of the DLC. And it's not until, like, the very last trek that you get Eddie taken away from you, and then you want to avenge him badly enough to go and fight Ulysses. Somehow missed the intelligence check? I'm not sure. Yeah, lie to Eddie about the concept of death. Why not? Let's just get this over with and get back to where we were. Alright, we have to wait for Eddie to unlock the planetary goods terminal. We have to repick this block. These things act like vendors throughout the DLC, and they have an absurd amount of paps in each one. Just an absolutely obscene amount of paps. Do they have ammo that I can use? Oh, hell yeah, they do. Yeah, I don't have faith in Deadlock not getting bridged by Valve, frankly. Like I was saying earlier, I really do want to stream Dead Rising because of the recent surge in interest in that game due to the remaster coming out. And like I said in my video essay that like only 30 people watched, I think censorship is bad, and censoring the remake is stupid and dumb, and they shouldn't be doing that. So I think Dead Rising is like my next big plan. I know it's usually like live stream tradition to like stream the entire game. But I don't think I want to stream. Like, Dead Rising is a 6-hour game from start to finish, right? I don't want to wake up. I have to wake up at like 7 in the morning or something to stream through that entire game at a reasonable hour. Like, that just doesn't sound fun.
Sneaking done. Fighting now.
Shit, did I sell all of my... I fucking sold all of my 308 ammo. Not 308.
That's all.
I'm stupid. This is what happens when you don't play this game for a long time. Yeah. I feel like it's less even that and more just... Like I said in my video, which I really wish more people watched, because I think I made a very important point. Everything that was added into Dead Rising was super, super deliberate, because the game's actually incredibly thematically consistent. And Jesus Christ, that's like most of my caps. The game is super thematically consistent, and in removing all of the uncomfortable elements, you irreparably destroy the game's core themes, right? Frank is a photojournalist. He's in Willamette to take pretty pictures and to report on the zombie outbreak. He's not there to save anybody. He doesn't give a shit. He's not a hero. He's here to make a profit. He's here to get famous or die trying. He's not a good guy. And the photo mechanic reflects that. Frank doesn't care about these people. Right? They're just kind of a means to an end to him.
Tough.
Look, being a Vietnam veteran is also a very deliberate theme because the game is very anti-military, right? It's a zombie game. The army are the bad guys. What would better enforce that theme than, Okay, we need to find some security. I don't know how we're supposed to know that. We just get told that by our quick boy, I guess.
Do you like me?
Yeah. It's that whole, like, Western thing that's, like, really popular where, like, the worst thing you can do is give somebody the ick. The worst thing you can do is be slightly gross. Like, we don't need to censor there's a fantastic meme of a guy reviewing a horror movie where he's like talking about the gore and he's like, oh my god, this is such great gore, and then there's like a slightly erotic shot and he he freaks the hell out. And that's exactly how I feel about Dead Rising. You can have as much violence, gore, and dismemberment and death as you want, but the minute things get slightly sexual, nah, you need to stop. You're a sex person and you need to stop. It's such a double standard.
Take this. It will help.
Actually, my leg got blown. I also want to stream Dead Rising, so I think it would make for a fun stream. The combat's in this deal, and this deal's here. Fucking crazy.
That was dealt with.
I love how I love the Mark Vance designs. I love their patchwork armor. I love all the detailing in it. It's very Mad Max with how they, like, just bodge all this shit together. It's so cool. I feel like someone at Bethesda played this DLC and then wanted all of the games in the series to be like this without realizing that you can't have the whole thing be unrelenting misery. That a big part of the reason why Lonesome Road works is because it's the end of the game. It's the nadir of Courier 6's story. It's the hardest part of their journey. I don't know who to blame with the Dead Rising censorship. I know some people were really pissed at Frank's new voice actor, which I think is really unfair.
There's your signal. Faint, but there. Just like NCR. Voice without fire, without strength. Sick. Her tales of you walking the Mojave, giving the two-headed bear strength, giving hollow men like Kimball, like Crocker, half the life Hanlon had. Now...
And this is the biggest problem with the DLC. Ulysses does not go off of your quest completion, he goes off of your faction reputation. So since I have a really high reputation with the NCR, because in the last stream I completed the NCR assassination, the Save Kimball quest, right? He assumes that I'm siding with the NCR, even though I am past the point of being able to do so. I've been working with Yes Man so long that I've broken the NCR quest line. It's the biggest problem with this whole DLC. Is this really terrible system for how Ulysses determines what faction you're a part of. It kind of ruins the entire theme of the DLC, in my opinion. It is the single biggest problem, is Obsidian just couldn't come up with a better system than this. There's so much dialogue in this, and I love Ulysses as a character, and I feel that a lot of people don't take the time to really listen to what he has to say and to understand him. And he is genuinely my favorite character in the entire series, but this bug, like, really hampers his character, because a lot of the metaphors aren't going to land because they aren't true to my actions as a player.
No, not new. And not new among all those in the shadow of the bear. You know their flag. A bear with two heads. Symbols an old world one. Had one head then. Better off for it. Their flag speaks to their spirit. They're split like any two-headed animal, trying to go in different directions, ending up nowhere.
I wonder if I
In
could...
Mojave.
Hang on. Where's my last... I wonder if I can use console commands to set my faction rep so that I actually have an independent rep. Because that's what I'm gonna do. So that I can actually, like, talk about this. Yeah, I know how to access the console. Okay. Set location. Well, we're already vilified with the Legion. We need to just be vilified with the NCR. So 000F. 43 DE. And then to gain infamy, R1 to gain. We're gonna put a 0. What? Oh, nope. We misspelled set reputation. No. Zero 100? Did that work? General, rotation.
Status report.
Let's do that again. That seems to be working. NCR. Let's try 500.
Primary secure.
9 bajillion? It won't go lower than soft-hearted devil. And then I also have to lower my rep with the strip as well, because for whatever reason he tracks your rep with the strip as being a as being your reputation with Mr. House as well. 00118. Yeah. I don't know how I can get it lower than soft-hearted devil. Sounds like a little reputation I can't like you should remember.
That's all.
Okay. The reputation 1 0. Vilified. Okay. This might fuck up my my finale, but I don't really care. I just want to get the right dialogue from Ulysses so that I can actually talk about him. Yeah, that's the biggest problem with this DLC right there. And that's why I love having the console, because I can fix bugs.
There's your signal. Faint, but there. You came. Good. Curious, maybe. You want the Mojave without a flag on your back. That'll end soon. Can't walk the long 15 and not have a nation's shadow fall on you. Maybe you just need to be tested. Or you believe in nothing. We'll see.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I'm going to finish this game. I think I'm going to do this DLC and then that's it, because I want to move on to other things and start doing different streams. Because I've noticed my New Vegas streams have been getting fewer and fewer views as we go on. So I would like to just, like, mix it up and have some variety and have some more fun with my streams. But now we've fixed the bug, we're getting the correct dialogue. I can actually... Oh, goodness, excuse me, I can actually proceed. I'm so sorry, I just burped right into the mic. Maybe you better tell me who you are and what you want.
I'm a courier. Courier 6. Was Courier 6. Like you. And not like you. In all the ways that
The dialogue
matter.
is so ironic.
Spent too many years looking for you. Now letting you come to me. Thought carrying that ship would end you. No. You got lives in you. Hard to kill. Storms, bullets, sand and wind. Yet still you walk. For now.
Real quick, just because I noticed someone mentioned it, I don't think it's Capcom doesn't want to hire TJ Rolo because he's union. I was told that it's because TJ doesn't want to work with them anymore after he got the script for Dead Rising 5 and just said, I don't want to be part of this anymore.
Words are the only way couriers meet. Sometimes it's the paths we walk. But no, we've never spoken before now. know my voice, but we've walked the same places. The long 15 to Prim. That wasn't the only road you ever walked. I've been to your home, the place you kept returning to. May not be the place you were born, was the place you gave life to. Same thing. People forget couriers can keep communities alive until the day they're gone and their breath catches in their throat.
I love Ulysses' dialogue. Absolutely love it. I've played way too many games where everyone has the exact same voice, the exact same language, the exact same sentence structure and pacing. And that's what I really love about Ulysses and Joshua Graham, is that they vary up the sentence structures of the game. They vary up the dialogue of the game. That's what New Vegas is really good at. Characters that should be educated, that should be flowery, they are. They're very affected in their speech, and it makes for such a nice landscape of tone and voice and variety. It's a massive improvement. If you played Skyrim, for an example, the Greybeards, who are supposed to be these learned monks, they talk just like common street trash, and common street trash talks just like the highest echelons of nobility. Everyone sounds exactly the same, and it makes everyone feel exactly the same. You never get the sense that you're talking to a rich, educated person when you are. So you refuse to deliver the chip. Why? To set me up to die?
We all have death following us. Only a question of how close. You dodged it. For a time. You're good at that. Talent for it. With that chip weighing you down, a burden. Lets death move a little faster without me pulling the trigger. Promises to keep to others. And Amavi's dangerous enough left to the land. The land has its way. If I wanted you dead, we would have met sooner. Not sure that's the way this ends. Might be that history needs to have its say. If not, then messages will do. The Divide. This place is a slice of it. Old military. Can still smell the pride and the fear. Hope of the old world, wrapped in fencing, covered in storm. Got new inhabitants now, other than ghosts, more recent, recruits. America sleeps in the Divide, giants beneath the earth. You saw one locked in a silo beneath you. There's more. Only takes a few of them, locked below ground, to tear apart the earth and cast dust, sand, ash into the skies above. For now, eyes alert, watch the streets below. There's still life in the Divide. Threats other than the storms and wind. New inhabitants. These new inhabitants, not natives, most of them, came with duty, purpose, ready to kill each other. The Divide was stronger. Left marks on them too. Not bear, not bull. Now, radiations marked them, made them equal in history's eyes. As vicious as the storms are, these shadows of Legion, of NCR, silhouettes of things to come. If you saw their corpses, you saw mercy, got what they deserved, coming to the Divide. The bear and bull, NCR Legion, came in waves, before and after, right into the invisible fires, the wind, ground, collapsing beneath them. Once under different flags, now they are equal in their hatred of the trespassers, you and I. Even as the fires here burned them from within, the winds of the divide tore their skin, exposed them, screaming to the sky. And just as the divide tears at them, so they tear at each other, for sport, like some tribal scarification. Falling back to their history, maybe. No matter what they suffer, the radiation, fire of the divide sustains them, makes them stronger. There's truth in your words, in what I've seen of their tactics, movements, recovery, those wounds. They couldn't live otherwise. The divide winds have torn the skin from many of them. Maybe the radiation is the only thing keeping them walking. They camp near silos, warheads. No way to cleanse the radiation. Makes them hard to kill there. Have to draw them out.
God, I love Ulysses' dialogue. Like I said, it's so rich. It's so full of character. The way he... I'll save my thoughts until we're out of the dialogue tree, because I just want to gush about why I love his writing, why I love this DLC so much, and why I think so many people sleep on it.
America sleeps ahead of you. Its nightmares filled with quakes, storms. You'll need to find your own path. That means waking America's spears up from their slumber. There's ways. Warheads set off collapse. Warheads could open the gates again. You're resourceful. That machine, robot with you, can help you find the warheads you need to destroy. And their trigger, the detonator. The way ahead is below. The tools are there. The rest, up to you. You want to know more? Keep walking. I'll give answers as you go, not before. For now, find the trigger for the warheads buried in Hopeville. Use it to keep moving and keep alive. The divide will send its worst against you. It may break you. We'll see if you're stronger. Road gets rougher from here. Courier left marks for you. Colors will tell the way if you're smart. They'll lead you to your home one more time. Lead to the ending of it. Maybe remind you why you wander.
So, first things first that I gotta say about Ulysses' dialogue is, he's clearly not an educated man. Like, he's a tribal, right? English is probably not his first language. That's why he uses odd word choices and kind of weird metaphors a lot of the time, I think. He's trying to make a language that he probably doesn't fully understand fit the preconceived grasp of the world that he already has. And that you really get the sense for that when you slow down and you actually take the time to listen to him talk. I know so many people who just dismiss him as just, oh, the bear and the bull, the blah, 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 history. But he doesn't speak about history the way Edward Sallow, Caesar, does, because he's not educated the same way. He speaks of history as almost like a preconceived destiny. To him,
Sleeping done. Fighting now.
Ulysses, history is not just a story that has already been told or already happened. It's the phrase, those who don't know their history are condemned to repeat it, is literal to him. It's got an almost spiritual quality to it. I know a lot of people also just dismiss him as like, oh, he's just broken by what happened in the divide, and he's just completely insane and gibbering nonsense. And I think there's an element of truth there.
Fighting over.
I definitely think he's a very traumatic character, and I definitely think his trauma is a big part of his motivation and his character, as we'll come to understand him over the course of the whole DLC. But I don't think that's the only part of his character. I don't think he is just trauma dumping the whole time, for lack of a better term. Here, I'm gonna eat 5 MREs in one go. I have to super shit myself. I can't imagine living off of mush like that for a sustained period of time. It cannot be good for you. Like, I know they technically have all the nutrients you need, but there's just no way. I think, but anyways, I was saying, I think Ulysses is a very complicated character. And I think a big part of it is...
Hit-boy lights on.
Shut up, Stealth Suit. I know, I just turned it on because I killed the only enemy.
This one looks pretty tough.
Oh, I did kill the only enemy in here. I'm gonna need those calories for this walk, dude. Shit's gonna get crazy. Oh, I love the terrible hit.
Fighting over.
Any Hydra? I'm gonna use it if I have any. Yeah, Ulysses is such a deep, complicated character, and I think his
Hit-boy
situation.
lights on.
Shut the fuck up, Stealth Suit. I think his situation is not helped by the complexity, the floweriness of his language. I think a lot of people just, they listen to him, they don't immediately get it, so they just dismiss everything he has to say as gibberish, and taco MRE. What the fuck is in a taco MRE? I would assume that's just like burrito paste. Like you know that disgusting, like, you know those like canned refried beans that are just like a brownish paste? That's what I'm imagining is in one. I don't know what you're hearing, but I'm imagining it's the sloppy sound of MRE juices. I don't know why I had to word it like that, but I did. One other thing that I think kind of hampers this DLC a little bit is it's extremely linear. There are, like, places off to the side that you can explore, like the armories and that building we were just in, but
We haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe the monsters have stealth suits too.
Like, you can't get through this pile of junk by jumping at it or anything. You have to go around the side. Right? So it's really linear. Don't get me wrong, the environment design is fantastic, though. Like, this is a desolate... This is what I imagine
Ready?
the world
Steady.
was like just
Fighting.
after the bomb stuff, you know? I totally get how this DLC inspired something like Dust.
Fighting over.
I keep skipping the kill cams every time I can. I totally get how this DLC like inspired Dust to be made. I get how this DLC also affected Bethesda's interpretation of Fallout going forward as well, for better and for worse. But part of why this works is that it's the final bit of the game. It's the final journey, right? It's the darkness before the dawn, so to speak. Oh, what?
This one looks pretty tough.
There we go. I don't know why he's not shooting at me. He is.
Fighting over.
Yeah, he does have an accent. You're right. But I think it really comes across very clearly in his word choice. There's also the fact that I don't think he ever says nuke ever. He only ever refers to them as bombs, right? He never says nuke. At least genuinely not as far as I'm aware. Which is absolutely a phrase a person can use to describe the nukes. That's what they are. they're worse than bombs, but Ulysses only understands them from their mechanical, their function. They explode.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Also, like I said, I think he lacks in education. Like, a lot of his dialogue, he knows about the old world, and he definitely desires to know more about it, to learn about it. But unlike Caesar, unlike Edward Sallow or Arcade, he was never formally taught anything about it. Most of his time was spent in the Legion, so logically, any information about the old world was probably suppressed. Probably quite suppressed and quite controlled. The red glare is also great. I'm just gonna grab this thing and demonstrate it real quick. This thing's freaking funny. It doesn't do much damage, but it has got to be one of my favorite weapons in the game. Like, just look at this shit. And that's what it looks like, too. Like, this thing looks like something out of Duke Nukem. It's great. Yeah, Ulysses clearly is not as educated as he might appear. And I think that lack of knowledge is a big part of it. That lack of knowledge, while still hungering for it, is a big part of his character and what makes him interesting. Ah, fuck, they're throwing grenades.
This will keep you on your feet.
Can I stop having specifically my right hand kick? Because I really appreciate it. I know I'm over encumbered.
Injecting stim pack.
There we go. We're going to fire off the 2 grenades and then let me go again.
Injecting stim pack.
It's in his dialogue, it's in his word choices. Ooh.
Does that feel
Can I
better?
stop having all of my limbs get crippled every 3 seconds? I'm going to run out of... I am out of Dr. Bags. Shit. Oh man. We might have to backtrack to the thing in the left. I love the Divide so much. This area is so cool. Nice decoration. Right. Yeah. The marked men are kind of messed up. That's like another thing that Ulysses talks about, where it's like, it's clear he knows stuff. Like, he talks about how he's analyzed their movements and the way they fight, and how it reminds him of the various tribes he's encountered over the years, and how it reminds him of the NCR and Legion. But at the same time, it's like he struggles to convey it in so few words. There's an auto dock in here somewhere. I don't know what room is it? Is it around here? Oh hey, we can access the commissary. Cool, we can buy shit. Can I buy doctor bags? Do you have any? Flashbangs, armor. Don't have any doctor bags. Fuck. Buy an auto inject stem pack. I'll buy 2 auto inject stem packs. Huh? Combat? With who? Motherfucker, with who? Hey, clowns! Catch! Oh shit, they didn't go through the window. I do hate that this is one of those games where, like, a single solid object instantly stops all explosions. Like, they don't pass through solids.
Was that all?
Better have been all, because I'm out of here. Yep, that was all. Fallout 2 is pretty good at giving you directions. At least in the overworld. Like, what to do when you actually get to a settlement, not so much. But, like, what the next settlement is usually pretty clear cut, I found. You fix my broken limbs, that'd be great. Really appreciate it. Please. Yeah! Let's fucking go!
You're my best friend forever.
You're my best friend until I find the advanced riot armor. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna wear the advanced riot armor. Everyone likes that too. Fallout 2 is... I've never beaten it, actually. Or have I? I think I got really close.
This one looks
oh,
pretty
fuck!
tough.
Oh god, they're everywhere. I really wish I had a flashbang, actually. Oh, man. We love Lucky. Reload. No, look out!
Bad guys dealt with.
You guys ever watch those old, like, Clint Eastwood cowboy movies? Just like the day before yesterday, I ended up watching, for a few dollars more. I think it was. It's the one that comes after A Fistful of Dollars. Was the one that I watched the day before yesterday. It was really good. Really, really good. Repeat temple, just getting stabbed answer. Yeah, that's the temple is a huge pain in the ass in Fallout 2. Cause like, unless you build for like melee or sneaking, you're kind of screwed. Like that section is brutal if you try to make a talkie build, because you can't talk your way past most of it. I actually think Fallout 1 had the better intro overall. I think Fallout 2 had I think Fallout 1 had the better intro, because you could just, like, once you're, like, the cave was very short, and it was, if you weren't having a good time with the combat, it was very easy to just run out of the cave. I think you could literally see the exit to the cave from where you start the game. Oh, hell yeah, there's a commissary in here, but we're just gonna sell everything. Let's go. Do I have some, like, something making me move a little faster in the meantime, so I'm not just limping around here? Some whiskey or buff out. Am I over the weight limit for... Yeah, I am. Oh. Skill issue. We're gonna be slow walking for a bit here, folks. I want money. Where the commissary was. I just heard Eddie unlock it. Oh, it's right here. Good. Yeah, Fallout 1, you could just run out of the thing. Like I was saying, I've been watching the old Clint Eastwood movies, though. I freaking love those. Those movies are great. Something that I noticed with, like, a lot of modern movies and a lot of modern games too is there's, like, a general lack of, like, sincerity in them. Like in Fistful of Dollars, in A Few Dollars More, right? We're introduced to Colonel Mortimer at the start of the movie, right? And he's on the train. He's on a train, and he's talking to one guy, and the guy's like, "Well, where are you stopping?" And Mortimer's like, "I'm stopping in this one town." And the guy's like, "Well, the train doesn't stop there. No train stops there because it's this, you know, it's a town in a western. Nobody comes in or out. It's a hell place." So what does Mortimer do? He pulls, like, the emergency brake cord on the train, and they emergency stop the train. And everyone else is, like, falling all over the place, except for Mortimer, because he's cool. So of course you can't have the cool guy, like, flopping all over himself in the intro to the movie, right? And then the train stops perfectly with the train station. And then Mortimer's able to just, like, walk his horse out, because there's a convenient wooden ramp, like, right next to the animal carriage. And it's like, if this was a modern film, you know 100% there would be some joke of him, like, struggling to get his horse to come out. Or, like, Mortimer would be, like, thrown and knocked unconscious by the sudden stop of the train. But the movie just plays the entire scene. It's, like, so corny and so silly, and it's just played entirely straight.
This one looks pretty tough.
And I feel like any modern film doing an introduction like that, there would have to be a joke about how the character is not actually a badass. They wouldn't be able to just straight up gas a character that hard, uninterrupted in a modern film. Sip my coffee and point my detonator at this thing. I feel like this is probably one of the longer DLCs.
Ready?
Also because I spent a bunch of time at the start of the stream fiddling with the developer console trying to get the game done I wanted it to do. I'm on fire and I can't see anything. That is the one downside of the enhanced first-person mod. If you catch fire, you can't do shit. Oh hey, it's this asshole. Oh, great. I don't think I have any fixer either, so we're just gonna have to live with the Psycho debuff. I mean, maybe at one of the auto docks I might be able to cure the addiction, but I don't think so. I do apologize for the sound quality of the classic Fallout weapons pack. Because some of the weapons just use sounds straight from the original games. And they sound terrible. They're not mixed properly to be used in a 3D environment. So it just sounds like I'm firing the gun constantly. I think it was Postal 3 had that same problem.
That's all.
With the M60. The M60 only had the player firing sound, so it always sounded like you were firing a gun. I like that the flare gun, it doesn't take flares. No, it takes flamer fuel. I like to imagine you're just like spraying the fuel down the barrel of the flare gun like a potato cannon sort of deal. Anything in here? No, nothing I can really use. I mean, I guess I could take this for money, stuff it in Eddie and sell it to the commissary, why not? I don't know why the rockets are so damn expensive and heavy. They're also not like the same ammo used by the missile launcher. They're rockets. They're different ammunition type altogether. Jesus, my eyes!
We haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe the monsters have stealth suits too.
We haven't seen anybody in a while. Yeah, we just set off a fucking nuke. Like the third one I think we set off so far. The flashing is so bright that, because I have my phone on my desk so I can see chat, right? It's actually hurting my eyes from below.
I don't believe it. Grant actually went to Colonel Autumn and got approval for her damned efficiency guidelines. All experiments will be carried out with the test subject fully active to reduce iteration time. It's barbaric. I've explained this to the Colonel. Just because the iBots don't have true AI doesn't mean...
Okay, I have a very serious question, because I don't like Whitley. I have a very serious question here. So Whitley built these iBots, right? And they are built with protocols in place to prevent them, like, overheating their internals while they're doing stuff, right? So, first of all, wouldn't turning off the self-damage protocols, wouldn't that lead to the iBots, like, self-destructing? Therefore, like, drastically reducing their, like, yeah, sure, they're more efficient in the moment, but, like, now you need to repair and replace them, so they're gonna be hell on logistics. So why the fuck would anyone approve that from a military standpoint? Because, like, most military tools are designed with, like, the bare minimum of power. Raggy might remember the impact gun that they give you to work on the Bradley, right? That thing has, like, no torque compared to a modern cordless impact. But the reason is so that you can't accidentally over-tighten the bolts on your Bradley and destroy your own tank. Right? That's why military tools are often kind of junky. Second, why did Whitley program the iBots to be able to feel pain? If he cares so much about them, why are they able to feel pain in the first place? Like, his story and character
We're all lit
makes
up.
no sense.
Is it Christmas?
It's one of those things I hate about a lot of, like, fantasy stories or sci-fi stories. Whenever they have to do military technology, they always completely fail to understand why military technology is the way it is in the real world. Where's the flashlight? So here's a cool new thing, a new weapon type that has a new function never before seen in the game. A new enemy type with ow, I accidentally flashbanged myself because I pulled the pin like an idiot. A new weapon type with new effect. A new enemy type with whole new behaviors never before seen. Like, you would never... I keep seeing him, and I know in my heart that he's ducking down in that tunnel, but I keep getting, like, jump scared. A new enemy type with new mechanics, new weapon with new mechanics. You would never see this in a modern DLC. Like, at all. This would never be made in a modern Bethesda game.
Time to fight.
Can I...
Cessation of
That's
hostilities
twice in a row
complete.
too, dude. I'm so humiliated. I'm cooked. I've fallen off, as the kids say. I'm gonna eat that cave fungus because it does reduce our radiation, and radiation is a bit of a... Did I ever
Sneaking
mention
gun,
to you guys that I'm
fighting
pretty
now.
anxious by default and I don't handle jump scares well? Because I don't. I'm also caffeinated as fuck right now, too. That doesn't help either. Did that grenade not hit either of them? I bet it didn't. Ah, I can't see anything. I'm getting drugs. The drug withdrawals are kicking in and I can't see. Eddie, help! These underground tunnel sections are also, like, some of the hardest parts of the whole DLC.
Does that feel better? Please take this. I don't want you to die.
Oh no, am I stuck in the VATS thing? I love that glitch, god damn it. Those of you who don't know, there's a glitch in VATS where, like, if you're moving and you enter VATS at the same time, you can just kind of get stuck like that. Hate that shit. I'll take that. I'll take those. Am I being stat drained by the psycho withdrawal? No, I'm not. Okay, cool. Let's repeat this section again. Let's eat the cave fungus to get rid of some radiation. Since we're going to be attacked by a group of them, let's get out the flashbang. Let's just let it rip. I don't think that affected either of them, because I think they were in there, like, getting out of the tunnel animation still. Look out! Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh. Yeah, he just disappeared underground.
This one looks pretty tough.
Oh, shit. Where did you come from? I'll talk more about the tunnelers when we get to, like, Ulysses' dialogue where he talks about them. I know a lot of fans have come up with the bizarre interpretation that the tunnelers are going to destroy the Mojave, and I think that's, like, really weird and stupid.
Fighting over.
Oh yeah, he's still essentially good. Like I was saying, I think the interpretation of the tunnelers destroy Nevada is really dumb, but we'll talk about that when we get to the point where that dialogue is like brought up, so that I can explain why I think that that's a dumb point.
Sneaking gun. Fighting now.
Where's my, wonder how well they react to fire. Oh, did I accidentally throw two of them? Shit. Oh well. I mean, they seem to burn about as well as anything else does, so. Every time I see something like that, I'm reminded that... I don't remember what X-Men movie it was, but it was the one where Storm fucking kills Toad. Anyone else remember that? She's like, what happens to a frog when it gets struck by lightning? And then she just full boards this fucking teenage idiot with a bolt of lightning. Like, that kid died. There's no way he lived that shit. All of his mutant powers are like super agility and like having a long tongue. He doesn't have any kind of enhanced durability. She just killed that kid. But I always think about that scene whenever I like have a scene where whenever I have a moment like, I wonder if this monster is resistant to this element, and then it's not. Always plays in my head. Hi, I'm gonna eat some cave fungus real quick before I talk to you. Thank you. I would encourage you to get back in your hole, but I don't think you speak English. We'll settle this with you in the language of horrifying violence. Yeah. I was lucky. It's such a great
Cessation of hostilities complete.
These sections are great. They're really tense. I love the cave design with all the collapsed shit. You really do feel like you're crawling through the ruins of the old world. Oh my god. Please stop spawning tunnelers. I can literally see the exit. Oh no!
Bad guys dealt with.
Oh, okay, thank god. I didn't actually get permanently stuck in the fucking bad thing. Let's get out of here. Oh, we made it. We're through.
There you are. You went quiet for a time, and that signal came in strong from your machine, like a heartbeat. Made your way through old world towns, the the tunnels that join them, now the high road. For all you've seen behind you, there's worse along this stretch. Death claws hunt the marked men, and they also hunt what burrows below.
I'm gonna get through Ulysses' dialogue, and then I'm gonna take a short bathroom break and get some water instead of some coffee. What barrows below? You mean like those yellow things in the underpass?
Tunnelers. Predators that make their own roads beneath the ground here. Divide broke their sky, showed them the world above, and the scent of new prey. Be a slower death for the Mojave than bombs and fire, but they'll come for its people, from where they least expect, below.
See, I think Ulysses' theory is wrong, and there's a lot of reasons why, but let's keep pumping his dialogue for information.
Death will come from below. In the divide, need to watch the sky and the ground. Mojave will be easy prey for them. They'll start emerging throughout the Mojave in time. Might be years, probably less. They breed fast, hunt in groups, more than enough to bring down the strongest in the Mojave. Once they draw blood. Seen them tear apart Deathclaws. Deathclaw might get some, but the rest will swarm it, tear it apart, like Denver hounds.
So, here's the first thing. Tunnelers are really not fond of the light, right? And they get away with it in the Divide because the Divide is almost perpetually overcast because of the constant storms. You know what happens in the desert? That's right, it gets really hot because the sun is beating down on everything. So I think the Mojave is pretty safe just on the grounds of, like, tunnelers aren't going to want to be active during the day. Like, sure, they might come out at night, but... And there's lots of small communities like Novak, not Freeside, Westside, Prim, and Good Springs that I think would be easy prey for the tunnelers, but I think Ulysses is really discounting the NCR and Legion's ability to organize and repel the tunnelers. But I think he's using them as kind of an object lesson. It's his way of pointing out that, like, the factions in the Mojave don't really understand how dangerous the wasteland is, and that's one of Caesar's big points as well, is that the NCR is ill-equipped to pacify the wasteland. Their ideology and their men are ill-equipped to handle the world that's out there beyond their land. So I think it's one of those things where it's like a little bit of metaphor and a little bit of, like, fear-mongering. Like, it's not canon, right? Just because Ulysses says it doesn't make it automatically true. But I think he's trying to use them to illustrate a point to Courier 6 and to the player. That there are threats beyond Hoover Dam, beyond the Legion, beyond the NCR, beyond Mr. House. That the world is moving, and Vegas will not be a sustained bubble forever.
Mojave and the Divide are the only places I've walked. Walked the east, too, before the bull came. Then, much like the Mojave before the bear, tribes, towns, clutching to life. Bull did a better job. Hain makes for strange allies. The hate the bear and bull shared across the battlefield now turned against the Divide. Few survived. Intact. Many NCR were already here when the destruction happened, keeping the route east open in fear of Caesar, fear of the Legion. The why of it, Hoover Dam. The bear, NCR, couldn't be allowed to reach it easily. Long 15, Cayman, both bad enough. Kimball, Kaiser, House. You'd think that our world was that wall, cutting the Colorado. If I'd never laid eyes on it, never spoke of it, once found. It was all Caesar could see. That, and the flag beyond it, another symbol, big enough to challenge him. And the divide, one of the roads to it. Legion was tasked with cutting that artery. If you can't kill the bear in one stroke, bleed it, starve it. That kind of murder. It's what any of the Legion would have done. Now, the divide belongs to history. At the end of the high road lies Ashton, its silo. That machine with you, it can open it, wake it up, like it did the one in Hopeville. Hate? No. There's nothing to hate in metal, steel, gold, or platinum. Your machine, it's just a tool, made of wreckage of the divide. All that was brought here. You know the why of it. If you don't, I do. And that's enough. Shows trust only walks so far west. Earned more than that, though, getting this far. We walk the same road, carry the same colors. Can't break that by making the road red. Want more than that? Walk the divide. Answers will come. Closer you get to home. You and that machine. Many in the Mojave think the divide's nothing but canyon and storm. Wasn't always. There was life. A town farther west. Not talking about an old world town like Hopeville. More recent. Something you saw in your lifetime. It had the name, the divide, too. But rather than cracks in the earth, it was a road from the west into the Mojave, a supply line. Took a courier to make that road. You. Back then, you saw the road with eyes facing east. This time, the divide's in the other direction. And if your eyes try to make sense of it when you reach it, home's not what it was.
This is another problem with this DLC, and I think there's really only two. First of all, Ulysses tends to misidentify your faction alignment due to spotty programming, and then there's this, the sudden change of the courier from a complete blank slate, a tabula rasa character, to being a predefined character with a predefined history and a predefined existence in the world. It would work a lot better if the base game had done more to hint at the fact that Courier 6 canonically has amnesia and cannot remember what they were doing before Goodsprings. The problem is that because that isn't really hinted at throughout the game, it ends up coming out of just nowhere. And it feels very cheap. And I think when people headcanon their Courier and they roleplay and they get into it, this DLC comes along and says, actually, there's a chapter to your character's backstory you weren't told about. It can really interfere with some people's role-playing, and some people really get into that character-driven headspace, and it ruins the effect of the DLC, or it ruins the effect of their roleplay, and leaves them with a really bad taste in their mouths. And that's what happened to me when I first played this DLC. But as I've matured, and as I've come to accept that the events of the Divide are a canonical part of Courier 6's history, and a canonical mistake that they made, and it's become something that I've worked into my interpretation of the character, I think the DLC is actually stronger for it, but I do think they could have done a better job hinting at that revelation and building that into the character from the start.
All roads lead back to one's home. Not your birthplace, maybe, but home. Home isn't where you were born into this world. You taught me that. Part of your message, whether you meant it or not. known the divide had it not been for you. The road you made with your tracks again and again. You were the only one willing to make the journey to and from here. A hard road. Kept the land before the divide alive through seasons, storms. Can't have been just a job. Was something more to you. Don't feel for a place that hard unless it's home.
That is one of my favorite exchanges in the DLC, because I think it really hints at who Ulysses is. His view of history, of symbology. It's not just a practical, scholarly view, although there is an element of that to his character. This desire for information, this desire for learning history and learning about the world around him. It's also a sort of spiritual, metaphorical aspect to it. Which I think very much comes from his tribal background as a character. And that's just what I love about him. I feel like that whole conversation, that whole explanation, it distills so much of his character. There's also the bit where he's talking about how he doesn't necessarily mean home as in your house, right? It's showing his inability to communicate clearly using English. It's showing his limited grasp of the language and his stilted vocabulary and his stilted worldview as well. Without directly telling you, Ulysses is kind of insane, kind of an idiot, kind of smart. Without just telling you who he is, it's showing you. And a lot of people, I think, just tune his dialogue out because there's so much of it, and they ignore it, and they never grasp the full subtlety of his character. And I'm going to keep saying that every single time it comes up, because I think it's really true. I think the fandom has really slept on this DLC, has really slept on Ulysses as a character, and it's a crying shame, because I think he's one of the best written characters in the history of video games, because he practices show don't tell, and because he's using it to show you the depth and complexity and the often contradictory nature of his character.
It means everything. Even if you deny it, cast it aside, that speaks to what you are, proves what happened here. It was you walking that road that kept the divide alive. It grew from what you did. Settlers, camps, filling that old world city. Chance for a new nation, new beginning, new way of thinking. Could have breathed new life into the Mojave, bridging east, west, like Hoover Dam. But not old world. Something you made. Road was a supply line. NCR saw the worth in that road you made. Staked a claim, whether it was wanted there or not. True elsewhere in the Mojave. And where the bear tries to cling to life, the Legion comes, bearing messages. Some brought by blade, others by couriers. You knew what was coming, as sure as I know what's coming for you. This time you carry the burden. Walk west into the sun, and keep walking until it dies. There, I'll be waiting.
I have a lot more to say about Ulysses and his character, but we'll get into that probably after the credits of the DLC. For right now, I'm going to take a small bathroom break, I'm going to get some more water, and we're going to carry on further into the Divide. So, I'll BRB. Alright. We are back, baby. How's everyone doing? Good? That's good. Now comes probably one of the harder... who am I kidding? This whole DLC is hard. I'm also suffering psycho withdrawal and there's no sign of Fixer anywhere in sight, so... I'm gonna have some fun times ahead. Like I was saying, that's the complexity of his character was the first thing we touched on. The use of show don't in dialogue, which is very difficult to do. Something I very much appreciate about Ulysses' dialogue. There's a third thing, or maybe a fourth thing, seeing how much more talking about him I do before this is all over. There's another dingus machine here, so I'm gonna take.
We haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe the monsters have stealth suits too.
I literally just killed 2 people. Stealth suit. But I'll talk about the secret third thing probably once we're done the DLC. But as I said, the main difficulty, the main problems with this DLC are the lack of proper setup and proper interactivity with the base game. I think are the main problems. There's also perhaps a bit of an inverse problem, a lack of interactivity from this DLC to the base game. Pretty sure you can see Ulysses up there somewhere. I'm probably not looking in the right spot. Or he hasn't spawned in, or he's already despawned, I'm not sure. I think you can see him up in one of those windows there at some point. As I was saying, a lack of proper interactivity between the DLC.
Time to fight.
Which is a problem with all the DLCs. I think another thing that happens with some people's interpretation of this DLC or their criticism of it is it's a commonly known piece of trivia that Ulysses was originally supposed to be a very major companion character, but we don't know very much, if anything at all, really, about what Ulysses would have been like as a companion. And I think a lot of people make theories and claims based on that without any real evidence. Yeah, all the DLCs have issues with carrying over to the base game. But that's a technical limitation thing and a resource limitation thing more than anything. Because remember, this whole game was developed in 18 months, and the DLCs were all developed in about a month to 2 months each. Which is something that I have to keep reminding myself of, because this game is so startlingly good. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that Fallout 3 was a feature-complete game. Shit. Oh, I dodged a bullet there. Fallout 3 was a feature-complete game, which gave them something to draw. I missed one of Ulysses' earlier logs. Shit. I missed his earlier log. He has these scattered throughout the DLC. Each one pertains to the events of one of the other DLCs, and you'll notice they're all prefixed with Y17, because he was reporting them with a machine he found in the Big Empty.
Big Empty. There's something hidden there. A crater. Past wind and sand. violence. The divide sky torn like that. Man's violence, not nature's. That violence in the sky had a source. Tracked it, like following a river current. Left the colors to mark my way, like always. In case someone finds them, learns the pattern. The courier might. But I thought sand and wind would never end. Came to the crater. And there was an old world facility. A weather station at the edge. Still raking the sky with electricity and generators. And beyond it, saw the rest of the old world hell there. All carved up like garden plots. Had to see what was there. Couldn't leave it be. Things asleep in the big empty. The Brotherhood woke them up. Can't move quiet any more than a two-headed bear can. And when they woke up, it was like all of history waking up at once. Almost didn't make it out. Almost. Left with answers I never intended.
Yeah, each of the tapes you can find speaks to a different DLC and Ulysses' involvement with it. When I say that this DLC lacks proper setup, I feel that Ulysses' appearance and the DLC itself was foreshadowed quite well throughout the rest of the game and throughout the other DLCs. That's not really what I'm talking about. When I say that, I'm referring to the fact that the Courier's memory loss and the Courier's involvement in the Divide very specifically were the two things that weren't well foreshadowed. Let's just go back and grab the other tape so we can listen to more Ulysses dialogue. It's in here somewhere. Ah, there it is. You also find them kind of out of order.
Emptiness here, like the sands of the Great Salt Lake, echoed. The beating in the divide sky, like storm drums of the White Legs, ran with them on the salt beds at Caesar's command. Cut the throats of the two-headed bear, cut all communities off. Use storm, sky, disease, fire, starvation, and the violence of the ignorant to ruin all who could. Might stand against him, but the White Legs, they couldn't live on their own, like most
This one looks pretty tough.
So gave them purpose, turned their hunger into a weapon. The wall of New Canaan, too high for Caesar, too proud maybe, or maybe something there from his past that needed killing. Memory of Graham. Help them dig out Canaan's supply caches and other secrets the sands hid. Bunkers filled with powered weapons even the Brotherhood might desire. They call these new weapons storm drums in the firing of shells. Taught them the power in the casings to channel the spirits in their guns. Me, they called me the flag bearer. Glory in my hand, in my staff that still bore the weight of the old world, just as the symbol on my back did. I learned their weapons as a means of respect, and when it came their turn to pay respect to me, history came rushing back. Can't escape what's been done. History's there, no matter how far you walk.
That's the only two tapes I can remember, by the way. That's all the extra dialogue I'm doing like that. I genuinely have no clue where the other ones are. If someone in chat wants to tell me, I would very much appreciate it. But I'm not gonna pull out a fucking collectibles guide in the middle of the stream. I feel like I've already pissed around a whole bunch with the console commands and stuff.
Fighting over.
Meant to do. Hoping nobody's respawned back here. Right, this is the wrong spot. Yeah. Meant to do is go back here, because I hope nobody's respawned, because I want to use the auto-dock, because I want to see if the auto-dock can cure addiction to chems as well. I'm hoping it can, because that would be really nice. How much you want to bet it can't? Oh, no, it can. Cool, we're balling. It's gonna move on, yeah. Ugh, excuse me. Don't really have much to say about those holotapes. I think they're cool. I think they're well written, and I think they do a good job of kind of filling in a little bit and explaining like what Ulysses was doing. And they do add into my big point overall about Ulysses, which I will make later, but I want to get through some of his other dialogue and I want to just experience the DLC before I really kind of spoil everything, as it were. I kind of want to do like another video essay on
Done. Fighting now.
having my ears blown up with this game's sound effects. No, on Ulysses as a character. Oh shit, where the fuck is Eddie when you need him? Oh, he's fighting a Deathclaw. So good. Thanks, Eddie. Really appreciate it, you spastic little shit. I'm gonna get us both killed, I hope you know that. Oh, my whole life is flashing before my eyes.
You're my best friend forever.
Thanks, Stealth Suit. Love you too, babe. Stop, Eddie, please.
Cessation of hostilities
Eddie.
complete.
Please, Eddie. Eddie, please. Thank God. Yeah, this section gets kind of sketchy. We have to fight our way past a bunch of Deathclaws.
Seeking done. Fighting now. Bad guys dealt with.
I don't know how that Deathclaw is just standing there. Just ate that nuke like it was fucking nothing. Oh yeah, this is another thing the DLC added. You have portable bedrolls now. There's a bunch of them, but they weigh 10 freaking pounds for some reason, which is absolutely insane.
Ready, steady, fighting.
I love this gun. It's so ridiculously OP.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
There's an optional area, like, down underneath this bridge that we can explore. I don't know if there's another holotape there or not.
Ready, steady, fighting.
Downtown, doing them dirty. Let's go look. Why not?
That's all.
I lied about not doing this, but what the hell. Series of 6 holotapes. Just pass it for millibase. Oh. Well, we've already missed a bunch then. Never mind. I thought there was only 4 of them, but no, I'm not gonna go collect all 6 of them. There's that many.
In all due respect.
Yeah. I know why there's so much Eddie dialogue, but I do feel it's one of the worst parts of the DLC. Because, like, the whole point of this is supposed to be it's a road you walk alone, and I really do think the DLC would have been improved without Eddie. I really do. So there's 2 paths we can take. We can go down and into that building there, and there's some supplies and stuff, but I don't need any of it. I don't want any of it, and what's ahead of us right here is probably one of the harder sections of the whole DLC anyway. It's just leapt off the bridge to my death. That would have been slick. What the hell did I do? I think I just had a stroke. Wick, really? So there's a minefield here. but it uses satchel charges, and due to a programming error, the satchel charges have almost no use time. Like, frag mines give you a good 5 seconds to defuse them, but, like, these are so much faster, so you have to be really careful. And they do so much more damage, too. I think one of my patch mods might have fixed their fuse time, but I'm not taking any chances. You can also just, like, shoot them out, but I'm a little too lazy to do that. Oh, yeah, see, like, all of my health instantly. I don't have anything to heal that with, too. They are brutal, and they detonate so much faster. I genuinely think this little hallway is one of the harder parts of this whole DLC. I'll take one satchel charge to use in this upcoming combat. And yeah, I'm gonna kind of save scum because these things are brutal. Very unforgiving. So there's a marked min camp there. I think we can just sneak by though, actually. Yeah, we can actually just sneak by. Because this is our real destination, is this thing here. Eddie, come on. Here, boy. So this is one of those "but thou must" moments that I think get a lot of hate in games, right? Like the white phosphorus scene in Spec Ops: The Line, or killing the dog in The Last of Us Part 2. It's one of those moments where they want to make you feel bad for a choice you made, but you didn't really make the choice. But I think this is way better because there's no signposting about it. They don't tell you, oh, we're gonna have to white phosphorus those civilians. Oh, why did you white phosphorus those civilians? You're such a meanie poop head. Because you don't know what's about to happen the first time you do this. And then you realize what you've done. It's a genuine mistake. And there's a lot of different ways that I think you can feel about this, and I think the game's writing does a good job of capturing most of it. And then we get Eddie dialogue, which I think kind of undercuts the moment. Eddie dialogue that I don't really care about. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, Courier's Mile is kind of a post-game kind of area. It's like a super challenge area that isn't mandatory to the DLC, and is meant to be like the hardest possible place in the game. And it is brutally hard. I've only ever cleared it once with a build that was specially made to do it. And now we have another really hard section where we have to fight a bunch of opponents at extremely close range. You're a melee build.
This will only stand for a second.
Can't open my Pip-Boy to heal, what the hell? I don't know if we're gonna actually be able to beat this part legitimately with this particular build. Like, it's not that long, this part, but it's not. I do. I have rebound and I have turbo.
That's all.
Constant explosions also don't make this part very easy because it makes it quite hard to kill it. Let me try and steal this trick. Shut the fuck up, Stealth Suit, we're going to die! Oh no! It didn't happen. Oh my god. I was about to start cutting really bad. Oh, and we get instantly addicted. Eddie, please watch that tunnel for like the last little bit. This section is kind of insane. This DLC really has a way of just pushing.
These boys and girls take their meta.
Why am I slow walking? Am I over encumbered somehow? Oh, I can't open it. It won't let me open the pit. We'll find out. God, Jesus.
That's
Let it
what
end.
it's dealt with.
Why am I moving so slow? I am over encumbered. Where the hell did my 1 point of strength go? I'm also crippled in the leg, and I have no hydro or Doctor's Bay. Oh, fucking hell. Let me out. Let me out! Yeah, that section is brutal. And like, for no good reason either. It's just there just to stretch your butthole. Hey Eddie, would you like a bunch of ammo I really can't use for anything because I can't even make this ammo into... Oh, that's right, you can't carry anymore. I literally can't even make this ammo into, like, ammo that I could actually use. That's the best freaking part. Yeah, shit's just gonna be exploding for, like, a solid minute here. I hope you enjoy camera shake, because we're gonna have a lot of that going on. I think one of Eddie's motherboards is behind that terminal. We can't now. Fucking doctor's bag.
Ready, steady, fighting.
Oh, both my legs now. God damn it. Sorry about this, Ed, but you're kind of gonna get swallowed straight on my lining, bro. Oh,
Was that all?
We have this thing here now. I wish there was a take-all option when you were working with your companions, but there isn't, and that annoys me. And of course, literally no ammo that I could use anyway. we got an auto dock. We can get healed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Hi? I don't know how I accessed that thing if you hadn't hacked it yet, did you? Looks like there's two caps lucky. I hate the alarm sound effect in this part. It just loops over and over and over again. Okay, how do we open this? Is there a key somewhere on this? We just jump down. Do we just jump in the pit, I guess? Give it a shot, why not? You know, it's only a rocket launch silo that's probably like full of toxic gases and lethally hot right now. I feel like all of this metal should be like red hot. Oh yeah, the nail gun is also like a new weapon. It's kind of fun, actually. Oh, there's a stairway just here. Stupid, man, I tell you. Fuck out of here already so we can get on with this DLC. I want to gush about the writing about Ulysses. I actually really like the riot helmet, but it has a problem where when you sneak, you get this obnoxious, like, colored filter put over your eyes. Also, what's my and yeah, it has the fucking chem wearing off special effect, too. And I already have max perception anyway. I really do not like the sneak side effect at all. I remember back when I mained the riot armor in this game, I used to have a mod that disabled it.
Time to fight.
Because it's just annoying if you're sneaking lots. I don't know why I threw both of these. I probably shouldn't have. Oh well.
Cessation of hostilities complete. Time to fight. Fighting over.
Almost at the end. We're so close. I have more points about the tunnelies too. I have so much more stuff to talk about, but it's just like, this is kind of the nadir of the DLC where I don't really have anything interesting to say. The locations are cool, the mechanics are cool, the combat is teeth-shatteringly annoying. Like, bro, where did he even go?
Uh-oh.
I think playing through this with JSawyer Ultimate, where everything is rarer and harder, just, like, really completes the feeling of this DLC. Huge props to Josh for making JSawyer as a mod, for giving this game the balance pass that I think it really needed. I find that a lot of fan rebalance mods are way too difficult for being as fun, frankly. But, I feel a lot of fan rebalance mods are just way too difficult to be fun. They're intentionally, they're balanced more like a challenge to the player. Like, try and pull this one off, scrub, than actually attempting to make the game more enjoyable and fun. I think that's a big problem with a lot of difficulty mods in games. Where they're made by people who are just psychotic masochists who do not give a shit about making the game fun. That's the thing. I probably said it a while back, but I think JSawyer was absolutely right when he said you should balance a game not around spreadsheets and data points, but around vibes. At least a single-player game. In a more competitive multiplayer scene, that kind of logic probably doesn't make as much sense, and probably is nowhere near as fun, but... when you're making a game like this, yeah, absolutely, it should be all about the vibes and the storytelling. Difficulty is...
Sneaking done. Fighting now.
Difficulty is a tool used to control the intended experience.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Games should not be built as a challenge.
This one looks pretty tough.
That's, I think, a very long-footed approach to game design. And anyone who's heard me talk about Dark Souls knows what I have to say about the whole Dark Souls series. That the game just became progressively more of a challenge against the players than it becomes fun.
I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me. Was that all?
Alright.
Hopeville, High Road, Ashton, tiny cracks in the earth, nothing compared to the road carved ahead. Before you, this is the edge of the divide. Ahead lies your work, the history you burned in the earth, what you brought to the people here. You delivered a package, had markings that matched those in the divide. Not all, but enough. Military markings from someplace the bear had savaged in the west. Maybe seeing those markings on it reminded you of home, made you carry it. It was from the west, from deep in NCR. Whether made by them or not, it came here through your hands. It was a device, a detonator, one I'd never seen before, or heard before. You carried that thing to the divide. I know because I followed you as you walked the road, watched you do it. You brought it here, to the community you built. And you are responsible for what happened after, when the device opened, started to speak. When it did, the divide answered back. Those missiles you've seen, buried in their silos. They exploded beneath the ground, cracked the landscape. Sand, ash, the dead. The divide skies became a graveyard.
I think that line of dialogue is a lot of the reason why people just dismiss Ulysses as, oh, he's just traumatized and he's just trauma dumping, which is blatantly not the case with his character. I love the variety of options of, like, you can't be sure, or I don't understand. Like there's a lot of denial, and this is the thing, is again, Courier 6 is a defined character in this DLC. They are in denial about their past. They've forgotten it, and they cannot believe what Ulysses is saying about them is true. And that's a very real, very human reaction, but because this is a role-playing game, and because Courier 6 is a free, independent character, it creates a lot of problems with people's interpretation and their ability to get into the DLC, and I think that's the real problem here.
Should have died there, but now that I know you live, the machines here saved me. I was the only survivor, or thought I was. Your package, the message inside, awoke medical machines, close to the one that shadows you, began to build themselves. Then others. They only take what parts they find in the divide, never roam beyond it. Can't even leave the silos without a human to shadow. Like hounds. Maybe they saw the flag on my jacket, thought I was of America. If so, history saved me.
And there he goes again, treating history like it's more of a destiny kind of thing than an actual, like, scholarly pursuit. To him, it's destiny that he had the American flag on his jacket, and it's destiny that the American flag tricked the Ibots into saving him after the disaster that the courier brought. I think Ulysses is such a fascinating multi-layered character, but I think there's a lot of problems with how this DLC handles the courier, and people misinterpret those problems as being problems with Ulysses, and they offload that onto the DLC instead of realizing that the problem might be with the way they've been interpreting and playing the game.
Not the name I'd give it. Not the name the dead would give it. Soldiers of the Bear died here. Legion died too. My brothers, still dying. Both of them, all around us. None of the people that lived here survived. Yet all of the West and the East, they hold on as the divide tears at them. Revenge isn't the message I have for you. More than that, courier. You will. I'll show the Mojave, Bear and Bull, the way of it. How couriers can break nations. What happened here can happen again. You already proved it. What you did in Ashton, the silo there.
And I think this is a great interaction. It actually does the gotcha moment correctly, because it's not signposted really at all for the player to know that silo is. It's kind of signposted. You know there's nukes, you know these silos are armed, but you don't know if that silo has one. You don't know if it'll fly off, you don't know where it'll target, and you don't even really realize that opening the silo will fire the nuke. You're working with incomplete information and you make a poor judgment call, and that is one of the best parts about this DLC. It's all about Courier 6 making mistakes and Ulysses trying to teach them about that. It's not revenge. It's an object lesson.
Didn't stop you though. Like carrying the chip to Vegas. Old world death in your hand. Pieces of the old world like that just need someone careless enough to take them where they need to go. To do their killing.
And that's the whole reason why Ulysses wants to bring you here. Right there. Because throughout the whole game, you've been tampering in things you don't really understand. Archimedes at the Helios station. The careful balance of power between the Vegas tribes. These people with centuries of history and violence and conflict. And you're coming in, you're passing judgment, you're doing things, you're righting what you see as wrongs. You're changing the balance of the world, and Ulysses wants you to be aware of that. And that's why I like him so much as a character. He's not really a villain. He's a character. And I'll get more into that after we're done with the DLC.
All these roads that you walked, these packages that you carried, think it wasn't your choice? Of course, it was your choice. You could have stayed in the Mojave, but you chose to come, couldn't let be, not in you to let go. Came for no other reason than you were curious, restless, always have been. Had to know the why of it. Now, I'll show you. Your road's not done. Haven't walked it full yet. Not nearly enough. The way ahead and below leads to the heart of the divide. And there, you and I, we'll have an ending to things. Already heard you once, long ago and loud enough for history to hear. Tired of your messages. Still, curiosity drove you this far. Let's see what else it can do.
I do think some of the dialogue there was a little bit of, like, it runs into the problem of this being a video game, right? You are impelled by the nature of the game to follow objective markers and to do quests. It's trying to walk a fine balance between treating this as a linear story and treating Courier 6 as a defined character in the world, and I think that does... Oh God, I keep burping, excuse me. It falls down at a few points and places.
JSawyer's orders. Sometime before I realized the why of it. Wasn't just you. All couriers. No telling how many were Legion. Maybe all of them. Wasn't sure about you until the divide. All the NCR burning. That much death. It bears the mark of a Legion hand. But you killed like NCR. Like Hanlon. With mines, bombs, missiles. Killed Legion along with the bear. Like a coward kills from a distance. If you were Legion, then NCR beat you. The West changed you.
And I think this is a little bit of Ulysses' character showing through. He can't accept the idea that it was just an accident. He thinks that everything has to have a wider purpose. This is part of his trauma showing through. This is another complex layer of his character, where he thinks there has to be a higher purpose, right? Everyone's gone through a traumatic moment like that, and you ask yourself, why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? And that's what Ulysses is asking. In a way, it's not just him trying to teach you a lesson, it's also him trying to understand what happened to him. There's so much more I want to say, but I'm trying to hold my tongue.
I know that now. Doesn't change what was done. The Legion who died here. Even if you were Legion, you would answer for those deaths by JSawyer's law.
There's so much more dialogue here that I want to go through because it's all so good.
I knew all of you, your name, your road to and from the divide, what that meant for the Legion. We never spoke. Knew you through your actions. Knew you'd walked the West as I'd walked the East. Learned different lessons. And I would never have discovered the divide without you. The tapes. Didn't think those would be found. Weren't worth the words anyway. Not like I'd forget what happened. Had the tech from the big empty recorder a woman gave me on its last legs. Didn't survive the road. Cast it and the tapes aside. If you heard them, there's no consequence. Ramblings. Reminders for a man who doesn't need them. At the end of the divide, through the trenches and wreckage, that's where you'll find me. My new home, here, amongst dead men. You and that machine. Keep your eyes on the tower that cuts the horizon. You'll find your way. Made it this far. Not much farther to go.
The tapes, I think, are another element of Ulysses' character. Right? Again, it's him processing things, trying to put them in order, and then ultimately deciding that it's not really helping him to dwell on the trauma of his past. It's a big part of what makes him so deep and compelling. Because he is a real character. He's not like a lot of video game villains that just kind of fit there, but I would save that for later. Save that for spiel I have.
That's all.
think there's another one of his tapes in here somewhere. In one of these towers. Don't. Rat. And get 55 XP for it? Alright. Alright, there's another tape.
The white legs meant to show respect, bribed me for Kaiser's favor, echoing mannerisms and words, showed them tech caches, taught them the workings of chamber and powder, spoke of Kaiser's pride in those that used such things. Lies. And then they tried to honor me, not the Legion. They brought me before the campfire one night, showed me how they changed themselves, how they wore their hair now. It was like my entire dead tribe in the firelight, teeth grinning red in the dark, eager corpses, blood-covered ghosts. They had taken my braids, the way of the twisted hairs, as if it showed they were like me, of me.
Dad!
While every knot in their braids spoke of raping, violence, and ignorance of what the knots meant. They thought to show respect. Defiled it. Lost myself in trying to read the braids they wove. When I remembered, they had put no meaning in it. They had no history of what it meant. They didn't even know the insult in the twists, knots. And dry wells came rushing back. The white legs circled like that. It was like looking at the dead of my tribe, reborn as ghosts, hateful, hungry, bowing to Kaiser. Another history, gone, carried by me alone.
Yeah. And that's what I mean when, like, I talk about how Ulysses is traumatized. He clearly has some form of PTSD from what happened between his tribe and the Legion. He clearly regrets his connection to the Legion. God, those are loud.
Time to fight.
He clearly regrets his connections to the Legion. He regrets what he probably sees as a personal failure. But it also further showcases his sort of unusual, bizarre, pseudo-religious grasp on history as a concept. He doesn't view it as something to be passed on and passed around. At least not at that point. I think his views come to evolve between then and the end of the game. Perhaps it's the non-consensual nature of them trying to replicate his history. He didn't give them permission. He didn't give them a lesson in what the braids meant. They didn't earn it. As it were. And I think that experience is part of what changed him and part of what convinced him to invite the courier to the Divide. And fucking trip mines. God damn it. Things are fucking obscene. They do so much damage. Oh my god. And that is why he invited the courier to the Divide. That's why he wants to teach the courier the lessons of history, as it were.
Ready, steady, fighting.
any of these fuckers.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Save your game, dumbass. There we go. Oh yeah, and then we drop a whole building. Oh, ammo. One, nice. Oh, what the hell? Stop with the fucking trip mines, please. Fuck! I can't walk like 2 fucking feet without just liquefying. God. Really should have gotten the light step first. I probably will if I just,
This one looks pretty tough.
and of course he's just immune.
Bad guys dealt with.
Oh hell yeah, do I get light step? Okay. Or is it? I really like that special perk too. Oh god. Freaking damn it all. $30 damage, that's 101 versus damage 36. Okay. Kind of running out of stuff to say, but we're almost at the end of the DLC, so it doesn't really much matter. And I will have more to say.
Who
as we
do you
go on.
think is cuter, Dr. Klein or Dr. Boros?
I'm gonna start talking about the almost called them the tunnelers again pretty soon, because we're coming up to the Cave of the Abandoned, which is like the tunnelers' like big nest, I guess. I'm not really sure what this area is supposed to be, like from a lore perspective. I don't think it really matters though. I think it's pretty obvious that it's like a nest of tumblers. I did it. I said I almost called them that, and then I actually went and did it. A nest of tunnelers. Yeah. We might be running out of 308 ammo once the DLC's done too, because the friggin' things don't restock ever. Well, they do restock. They just take a long ass time too. Yeah, and then that's the intro where he gets shot. I don't care. He did not mean to take that medic, but yeah, it doesn't really much matter. Place a good sleep.
Ready, steady, fighting.
This one's a little bit. This
Bad
section's a
guys
little bit
dealt
harder with them
with.
in because they are more spread out. Can I not hit you? What the fuck?
Sneaking done, fighting now. Bad guys dealt with.
But anyway, we're gonna come up on something here that I think has some pretty serious lore implications. Because earlier on, Ulysses said that they would take over the Mojave eventually.
Sneaking done,
Which I think
fighting
anyone
now.
who's done this section should have a reasonable explanation of why that's worth charges. Right here, the Tunneler Queen. So we've established that Ulysses doesn't know everything about the Divide. He doesn't. He knows tunnelers are dangerous. He's seen them wreck shit up. He's seen them kill. He's seen them kill Deathclaws and stuff. He doesn't know exactly what they are or where they come from. Which, granted, neither do we. But if they have a queen, I think the question becomes, how do we know that they can reproduce without her, right? And there's only one Tunneler Queen, and this is her, okay? She's the only instance of Tunneler Queen in the whole game. If the Queen is dead, how are the Tunnelers going to reproduce to take over the Mojave, right? It doesn't make any sense. That theory just, I don't think makes any sense, and I think this is one of those things, I think it's meant to show us subtly through gameplay, more than through exposition, that Ulysses doesn't know literally everything. He doesn't know that the Tunnelers need a queen to reproduce. And neither he nor Courier 6 know that there might be more than one Tunneler Queen, right? Like, it's entirely possible that now that we've killed the queen, another one will be born and has an actual problem. But I think that this particular encounter is meant to reinforce the Tunnelers as a threat. Obviously, it's meant to give the player one final look at the creatures in their largest numbers.
That's all.
But I also think it exists from a storytelling perspective to shed a little bit of light on the inner complexities of the Tunnelers as a species.
Sneaking done, fighting now.
Because the whole reason they exist is to show that there are problems in the Wasteland beyond. There are problems and threats in the Wasteland beyond what the Legion and NCR are aware of, and quite possibly beyond what they are capable of dealing
Cessation
with.
of hostilities complete.
And it's also here to indicate a little bit of Ulysses' own ignorance about the world as well. God, I need some fucking ammo. One thing I hate about all the DLCs in this game, I feel like they prepare for a very specific build or a very specific weapon, and they have tons of ammo for it, and then nothing
Next week
for
on
or any of the other weapon types. I don't. I know why Eddie's dialogue is here. I know why they want to get us to empathize with him because of the whole ending of the DLC. It comes at the worst times, and I think it's the third.
Thought that explosion, that building falling deep in the divide, might have been your work. Wouldn't kill you. Maybe close. Knew you'd survive, but no need to go any farther. You've brought me what I need. That machine with you, sealed in the Hopeville silo. Needed someone to unlock it, bring it home. Now the signal's strong enough. No need for you to carry it anymore. I can call your machine to me. The machine you brought is mine now. It's coming home. I'll reduce it to parts, just enough to function, to be aware of what's happening. What's inside that machine? That's all that mattered. All the machines here, made of wreckage from the divide, and all that was brought here. Inside its frame, it carries the message you brought here, and it'll do what it was programmed to do. Whatever it can to get home. The giants here will listen to it. I'll bring the divide to your home, your nation. Let its flag burn, just like you let the divide burn. Big Mountain Access Code, Ulysses. Command override. Navarro.
Ow! Yep. And now Eddie flies off to Ulysses' hideout. Again, I get why Eddie's dialogue is there. It's to make us bond with him. It's to make us feel angry when Ulysses takes him from us. It's to make us want to go kill Ulysses and get revenge for him taking Eddie away. I get why it's there. It just comes at the really most inopportune, most annoying and kind of frustrating times because I'm getting into the DLC, I'm getting through some hectic combats, I'm enjoying listening to Ulysses, and then blam, Eddie dialogue. I think it could have been handled a lot better. I think it could have been implemented a lot smoother. Or Eddie could have been completely removed from the story and replaced with a totally inanimate machine. I think getting rid of Eddie's personality would have maybe been a better choice to reinforce the feeling of loneliness and isolation that you're supposed to feel when playing this DLC. But I still think that Ulysses, the quality of his writing, the depth and intricacy of his character more than makes up for it. I think the three major problems I've discussed so far with this DLC of Courier 6 as a character, Eddie's implementation, and the lack of proper setup for this DLC from a base game perspective don't really matter compared to just how good what we get out of Ulysses is. And I'm really biting my tongue because I really want to come out and just say some really important shit, but I think we have to beat the DLC first before I can say it. Hello, gentlemen. How are you today? I'm fine. Where's something? Catch!
Uh-oh.
Yep. Try that again.
Sneaking
I love bad hitbox jank. Okay, what if we backtrack a little bunch? Pull out the grenade launcher and we try to set them off from
Uh-oh.
That's a bit better. I have something resembling a chance of hell now. No. Ow. Ah! Fuck. Damn it all. Ugh. I don't have any mines, do I, either, so I can't, set up anything for them, no.
Time to fight.
because they're fucking wall humping and I can't, like, bait them out easily.
Ready, steady, fighting.
Of me dying before the climax of the DLC, so we're gonna get really bored. God.
Seeking done. Fighting now.
Oh, one's running away. Sick. Aw. It just fell over. Alright. Die. Oh my god, that second was way harder than it was supposed to be. So close to the end, and I have to pee so bad. I think I'm gonna take another biology break when we get to, like, when we enter Ulysses' temple, I'm not gonna lie. This game's hitbox tank, remember, it's just occasionally just disappear when I try and shoot something from far off. It's such a great feeling. Shot's even damaging him. His health bar is like randomly changing. Or is there? Oh, there's a nuke near them. Oh, okay. So let's put them all on. Just kill some of them.
Was that all?
Nice. Dead on. Huh. Take that.
Ready, steady, fighty. That's all. This one looks pretty tough.
Game, please, let me get up. Please, please. Unstunlock me. Where the hell did that even... Oh, that's right, they're using stealth boys now. Fuck. I like how every time you shoot out one of the nukes in this section, there's a earthquake to remind you of the scale of what you're doing and how unstable this location is. Every step forward you make is having unintended consequences on the land around you. Literally reshaping the world with your abuse of old world technology. Your reckless disregard for everything but your objective. It really forces you to confront what a force of nature Courier 6 is. High key, one of the reasons I think I love this DLC so much is it kind of reminds me of Trigun. It's a really old anime, really good, highly recommend. Also recommend the manga version. It's very different from the anime, but the essence is kind of the same. The main character is this really genuinely nice guy who wants to do good stuff and wants to be nice to people, but bad things keep happening around him and horrifying damage keeps engulfing the world, despite him having the best of intentions. And that's very much what's happening with Courier 6. You can have the best intentions in the world, but at some point you have to own up to your actions and to the reactions that other people have around you because of them. At some point, you do become responsible for the things that happen around you, even if they aren't directly your fault, and even if they were never your intention. Oh boy, another minefield. Hate these parts, I hate these parts. Hack. Hi. Goodbye. Fuck you. Get exploded. Oh, I exploded myself there too. Shit. Ammo. I love the ragdolls in this game. I think Fallout New Vegas, even Fallout 4 to a slightly lesser extent maybe. I think Fallout games have almost the perfect combination of gore for me, between a healthy mix between ragdolls and giving. Because I feel like a lot of games, it's either one or the other. You either get really good ragdolls or really good gives. Or not even necessarily really good. You either get ragdolls or you get gives. Ah! Holy! Okay, where's the super sent pack when I need one? We're taking these with us this time. Boop. Through to the end. Alright. One last bathroom break before we confront Ulysses, so I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Let's fucking go. Is the mic on? Yeah, the mic's on. Let's go. Gonna need a lot of shit to do this. Can I open my Pip-Boy please game? Jesus, I pressed tab like 60 times. Oh, I don't have any...
Are we being watched?
So Eddie is in one of these areas. Eddie's in one of those chambers, and we need to get him back. We don't need to. We can actually beat the DLC without him, but I strongly recommend getting him back.
Was that all?
If you want to experience the fullness of the DLC, you're going to need to get him back. So.
I hope it doesn't hurt too bad. We don't have any medics.
Believe me, I'm in extraordinary pain right now. Here's the no effect. Remember how we open Eddie's care pod. Oh, do we have to shut down the filters and shit? Maybe.
Fighting over.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we do have to shut everything down. Let's go. We're gonna need his help anyway. This the final section of this DLC is difficult. Difficult, lemon, difficult. It doesn't have any. You have like even like no, you have surplus ammo for guns I don't use. Ugh. And there's no ammo crafting bench. I mean, I guess I could try and craft through Eddie's dialogue. Where is that door open from? I think it's open from this terminal here. Yeah, there we go. Almost at 1,000 game saves too, damn. I'm playing this so fucking long. Is there an ammo crafting bench here? I think there's just a regular workbench over there, yeah. There's no ammo crafting bench. Eddie, do you have the ability to craft ammo through you? Oh, hi. I'd like to make some ammo. I need powder, rifle, and primer, large rifle. Okay, well, what can I break down to get powder? Yeah, see, like, I could buy 50 millimeter. I could buy, like, ammo from that machine, but it's not gonna give me any of the shit that I need. So, yeah, I can't craft ammo. I fucking hate it. I think this game is in desperate need of a ammo simplifying mod. I might have to look into that, actually. A mod to simplify ammo crafting to the point of being viable, because it's so tedious. Unless you can get the type of ammo you need, you basically can't get the parts to craft it. Let's go. Let's go find the big man. Also, before we talk to him, we're gonna place a bunch of these. I'm kind of ruining the moment. One more save, just for good measure. Let's do this.
So you came, courier. To what? Watch your homeland burn one last time? Kill me, perhaps? Judging by your shadow, maybe you can't let your machine go. Doesn't matter now. Either way, The Divide Giants are awakening. The missiles here on their way home. There is no way to stop them. I'll finish history's work. If the Divide couldn't kill you, perhaps these spears of the old world can. Let's end this courier. You and I, here with the old world flag as witness.
This one looks pretty tough.
I'm not gonna ask him to explain himself, because I think I understand why he's doing what he's doing. It's not about killing you. It's not about killing you. It's all about setting off these bombs. Kind of a lot of chaos going on. I'm kind of tempted to reload, actually. And, you know, I'm gonna reload. I'm gonna go through some more of his dialogue because I like hearing him talk, and it's my stream. It's my voice.
So you came. No. Now there is purpose. I believe you when you say you were careless. The Divide, the chip, the machine you brought here. Many messages can be taken from that, intended or not. What I do now is an act of conviction. Blame you? No. Learned from you. Both the weapon to kill a nation and the strength to do it. You showed me a road, a way to carry my message. You've already answered for what you've done. Now the flag you follow will answer for it. No. The paths we've walked, the roads, and the flags above them carry equal blame. You walked the west, didn't stay. You know the reason. The bear grows without structure. Follows a symbol without knowing its history. After this, only one flag will remain over the Mojave. Let that one fly, or destroy itself. No need to destroy the bear. Just cut its throat.
I too love
You
all the
taught
claw.
me that at the Divide. Only need to cut off the supply line, the road, to watch something greater die. I'll turn the long 15 into miles of fire. Cut off the Mojave. NCR will fall back, lose Hoover Dam, and leave their throats exposed to the Legion.
I love this option.
Yet you follow nothing at all. You have walked the Mojave. Let the shadow of flags fall upon you. Yet walk carelessly. No allegiance. Your words empty as your actions.
I played the shit out of Fallout 3. I think on the console version, I have probably close to 1,000 hours. I just can't play the PC version because it barely runs.
Yes. That is what you proved to me at the Divide. What is here? What you showed me. It is enough. You don't understand. You will. Comes down to perspective. How far one's walked, and what they've left behind. If you challenge this moment, let's hear your perspective. If my words are all you have, let's hear them. My tribe. That log. No. It concerned the Whitelegs, training them to kill. For Caesar. There is no meaning there beyond the road to New Canaan, the history of the murder of its people, and Caesar's past. Respect. The braids I wore, they took that from me. Thought it made them more like me, more willing to have Caesar listen. They didn't know what the braids meant, the mark of my tribe before Caesar came. Before Vulpes came for them at dry wells. There was death in that meeting, even while Vulpes smiled, asked for our help against the other tribes. All the while, they were looking to cast our history on the fire, and did. Another tribe, consumed by the bull. Nothing left. Both survived. Pieces of them. Remnants. Nothing more. If you feel there is meaning in the white legs taking the braids of my tribe, what they did, insult, not respect. You're saying when the meaning gets lost, that what happened here can make things worse. Happened in the Mojave. Flags of the bear and the bull. Nothing can prevent what comes. The missiles will launch. These questions, your words or mine, what do they matter to you? It is enough. It may be that as much destruction has been written in the earth here, you may build something else, as you built the divide. You have spoken truly. There is a shadow of a nation behind you, the hope of a people, yet it may not matter. The divide still stands against us. Our enemies gather outside, shadows of the bear and the bull. They will have found their way in, just as you did. It was always my intention. In case I could not kill you, the marked men would flood this place, cut off your escape. If we cannot prevent what comes, then let us make our stand here. Two couriers together at the divide.
I love Ulysses. Let's go. I think that encounter right there. There's so much that I want to say, but now we have this epic combat section.
East and west.
Take care of the nuke. And maybe we'll get a few of them in the I think the big thing about this DLC is that a lot of people regard Ulysses as a villain, not as an independent character. His whole motivation, he doesn't have like a complex villain plan. His whole motivation is to show the courier how careless they've been, right? That's his whole thing. The whole point of the DLC is a lesson in how the courier has affected the world without really thinking about it, without really caring about it, and also highlighting the courier's desire to build something bigger and better than themselves. And the variety of reactions and interactions we have with Ulysses, it's just so good. You can avenge Eddie and kill him and let your hatred and annoyance with him cloud your judgment, or you can try to knuckle down and listen to what he has to say and actually reason with him. One of the things I like about this DLC and this encounter is that Ulysses is a hypocrite. He is just casting all of this destruction and chaos without really caring about who suffers and where his wrath might fall. He's kind of blinded by his own. He's a carrot meant to be a villainous foil that you get to the end of the DLC and you fight him. He's meant to be a reflection of Courier 6 and of the player. He's meant to carry the themes of the game. Ironically, through his obsession with history and meaning and purpose.
Let them.
Experiment log 36.
Eddie then sacrifices himself to stop the missile launch. And it's supposed to be this big heart-wrenching moment. I just don't like this DLC. He is my favorite companion, but I really don't like this DLC work. Oh, there we go. Ooh, he pops like a cherry. Eddie, no! I have so much to say about this, but I think that's it. He's a character.
Hopeville burned, lightless in the night, invisible fires of radiation scorching it from within and without. It is said a man still walked its streets with a tattered jacket, an old world flag etched on the back. He remained there, perhaps as punishment for the scars he left on the wastes, or a reminder of a history he could not forget. For Ulysses, his journey was over. The courier had been the end of his road. As for the courier, she turned her back on her home for the second time and made her way back, navigating the treachery of the divide. Tunnelers and the marked men avoided the lone figure, as if recognizing the courier's right to passage, or out of fear. The courier walked until she stood again upon the edge of the divide, the last road she would walk before the second battle for Hoover Dam. There, beside her feet, was a final package from one courier to another, a footlocker bearing a gift and a message. But that message, it is something for couriers to carry, and for them alone. The lights flickered across the divide, reminders that the old world histories persist and find meaning in the present. It said, war never changes. Women do. Through the roads they walk, and this road has reached its end.
I think that's the thing that a lot of people forget or don't really grasp and understand when it comes to the, that was probably a mistake. I have +1 agility from wearing this DLC. Oh, whatever, doesn't matter. He drops you a ton of stuff. He gives you a little bit of everything. But I think people treat Ulysses like he's supposed to be a villain. Like he's supposed to be a traditional video game story villain.
I'll miss you.
I actually really like this Dustfish design. Although I think Ulysses' Duster is a bit statistically better. People treat Ulysses like he's meant to be a traditional villain. He's a character. He reacts to the events of the story he's in. He's not a passive, villainous observer like a lot of villains in fiction are. He's an active participant. That's why his beliefs and his reasons change and why he reacts so strongly to your faction of choice. Right? That's why he reacts so strongly to your faction. That's why he is who he is. People expect him to just behave like a normal villain. They expect him to
We're very stealthy.
to have this master plan and to just sit there and for you to just come along and kill him. And I think that's where a lot of people's experience with DLC falls apart. They try to treat every version of Ulysses, every reason for him to oppose a faction as all being canon simultaneously. When in reality, there's 4 different Ulysses for 4 different major faction selections that could all possibly exist at one point in time. If you try to analyze his every single possible dialogue, you end up with this conflicting mess of a character that doesn't work. But if you just accept that only one version of him can exist at a time, it makes way more sense. He's a guy who's not really out for villainy. He's out to teach you a lesson and to pass on history. He's committing the same hypocrisy he accuses you of without really realizing it. He's traumatized and not thinking clearly. He's wise, but not really strictly educated. He's a flawed human being with a lot of power and opportunity, just like the courier. And that's what makes him work. He is such a perfect foil, such a perfect opposition, such a perfect antithesis to the courier. But it all falls apart when you try to take him as just a generic villain. Just another bad guy for you to headshot on your way to completing the game. And on that bombshell, I think it's time to end the stream. I might have one final stream with this game, where we just do the Battle of Hoover Dam, just so that I can say I'm done with the game, but I don't really know. We'll have to see when it comes. I want to thank everyone who watched. I want to thank everyone who's still watching. I want to thank anyone who comes by and watches the recording of this live stream in the future. And I don't really have anything else to say, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, whatever it is for you, and may your god or your gods